Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Today we have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about debt, because a lot of you guys have debt back home, and some of you are wanting to carry it over here, and I want to talk about that a little bit. Actually, a lot of it, because there are ways of paying debt off over here faster than back home. Do I recommend it for everybody? No, I don't. As you can hear, the roosters are crowing everywhere here. But anyway, let's get into this a little bit deeper. Over here, your rent is going to go down than from back home. That's going to give you some savings. If you're back home and you're working to pay off your debt, it's different than if you're sitting and you're retired and paying off your debt. Here's why. Because if you're retired, you can come over here and pay off your debt and live cheaper. If you're in the United States and you're paying off your debt, you got the extra rents, possibly a mortgage, what have you. Things are getting a little bit more expensive over there. So you have to start worrying about those because everything's getting higher and higher up there, and your retirement's not keeping up with it. Well, guess what? When you come over here, provided you buy some sort of insurance like Pacific Cross Peso plan, which has access and pays your medical bills as soon as you go into the hospital, as long as it's a Pacific Cross accepted hospital, you can go in there and you can use that card and you can pay your medical bills. It's important for you to have that medical bills, but also I want you to keep in mind that the first year you're going to have limited coverage, and it's only going to be for accidents while they wait to see what your pre-existing conditions are. Okay, so that's a big problem for some of you guys, and you have to have some sort of emergency fund for that first year. Now, do I recommend people come over here with a lot of debt? No. If you're coming over here with a few $1,000s worth of debt or something like that, I think if you sat it out and you set it out for maybe a year, you could probably get most of that paid off or less, okay? Because you need to buy refrigerators, things like that. And if you're planning on living in a particular area like my area. Now, later on when you get your debt paid off, you could probably sell off all the stuff in your apartment, move on, move down to Cebu or whatever, because your income would be higher because you'd have your debt paid off. Now, here's the thing. Now, if you guys are back home and you're working, you can't do that, because when you come over here, your pay is going to go down because you quit your job, unless you have a pension that's going to match that or what have you. Now here's the thing. I'm sorry, I got the hiccups, guys. Anyway, if you come over here and you do that and you learn to live cheap for the first year, it kind of gives you time to like settle in, get to know what the country's like, see if you like it. Also, it gives you time to kind of get to know the people around you, see what you're getting yourself into. And if you're paying off your bills, you're not going to be able to enjoy that first year too much. But at least if you have AC, you have your computer, you can kind of just kick back, relax, watch TV, Netflix, go out to the mall once in a while, Starbucks, what have you. You know, whatever you want to do, you can get out once in a while and go do something at least. Possibly walk around the mall, do some exercise every day, and then just pay down your bills. And after that year, once your bills are paid off, you're kind of all set. That's a good thing. Now, do I recommend that people do that? You know, it depends on your situation. Each person is different. You got to kind of make up a Philippine budget over here. I did a budget plan a while back on that, on how to build your own budget. Okay? And I gave you like a rough idea of what to plug in. Okay? So a lot of people, what they did is they did that. I'm going to do this again pretty soon. I'm going to do like the build your own budget video again. I'm going to do a newer version, update it a little bit, throw a few things on there, and talk more, a little bit about debt on there too, because I think it's needed. So we're going to be doing a video on that probably within the coming weeks. I'm not sure exactly when, but we are going to do one on that, and we'll talk some more. But right now, if I was you guys are in a rush to get over here. The only way you can really get in here right now is on the SRRV visa, okay? As of this moment, as of today. And if you're married to a Filipina, things like that. It's about the only way you can get in here. There's not too many other ways you can get in here. There are other ways, but not many. Okay, and for most, it won't work for most Americans. So you have to either wait for the tourist visa to open up, or you have to go the SRRV route. Okay, so that's the only way you can get in here. Now, with that said, let's talk more. Over here, if you're living small, there's nothing wrong with living small for a temporary period over here. If you're gonna do something like what I'm talking about, but it's up to the individual. I don't know what your individual needs are. Some of you guys are going to run budgets by me and stuff like that. Please don't do that. It's strictly up to you to come up with a budget that's going to work for you and see if you can get it paid off within a year. Okay? Because a lot of you guys are home right now. You're sitting in your house. A lot of you are from Las Vegas or from the Midwest or whatever. And you want to get out of here, you want to get out of the States. And you're telling me, "Hey Steve, I want to get out. I want to get to the Philippines as soon as possible." Okay, you can do it. You can do the SRRV route, but you have to do the EED, then get the 9A tourist visa, and then come over and finish the process. Okay, that's key. Okay, you have to do it like that currently. Until they open up the regular tourist visas, that's the only way to really get in here. Now, when they open up if they do open up this sandbox thing that they're talking about, we don't know what the current status is of that right now, or what's going to happen with that. So we don't really have an idea how that's going to play out. So when that does come about, we'll put that news out there, how it works and how everything works on it. It's going to be kind of complicated from what I'm hearing. From the way it is up in Thailand, it's a little bit complicated. Not too complicated, but a little bit complicated, okay? So we'll explain that when that does come out, if it happens that way. We don't know anything until it comes out. And a lot of people are saying, "Well, Steve, when's it going to open?" We don't have an idea. I think by the first of the year, we'll have some sort of opening, some sort of thing going on where we can finally say, "Hey guys, guess what? Welcome back. Come on in." You know, and that's what will happen as people start pouring in here. But if you can get in here now, and you just have a little bit of debt or something like that, pay it off while you're over here. Sit back, kick back over here. Move into a place that's cheap in the beginning, even if you have to put in an AC. Because usually when some of these units, a lot of people think you can just go out and buy one of those $200 window units. The windows over here are different, unfortunately, so they have to cut a hole. A lot of landlords are not willing to cut that hole because it means that the structure is weaker, okay? So they want you to put in like the split type. Now some people will put that in when they're building the building or whatever so that they can have AC in there. Some landlords will not. So what I tell people is put the split in. They're about $600 for a 1 horsepower, probably about $700 for a 1.5 horsepower, somewhere around there. Just guesstimating. They're all different prices, but you can get them for around that, all installed too. Okay, and then you have it put in. And if you live there for a year, that pays for itself. It's $50 a month over a year. Okay, and you just leave it behind because it's a split type, and you know you don't want to leave all those holes in the wall and everything for your landlord. But I mean, if you put it in there for a year, you've gotten your money's worth out of it. Mine, I've had it for 4 years. I've gotten my money's worth out of that. I can honestly say that I've gotten 100% of my money's worth out of that AC unit. Even if I had it for a year, I got my money's worth out of it because I enjoy having AC. So just look at it that way. The only other things you have to worry about is refrigerators. I tell people, if you're not planning on staying in that place, just get a small refrigerator or get something on sale if you can, or get a deal or whatever. And then think about your TVs, things like that. Also, some of these apartments are so cheap, guys, that once you furnish these places, here's the thing. You might want to move someplace else, okay, eventually. But for the $80 a month that you're paying for that place, the only time you're going to have electricity and things like that going in there are, you know, when you're in it. So it might be worth it to just use it as a getaway once in a while where you and your girlfriend or your wife can come back to that place and you have it and you just pay the $80 a month if you have that kind of income and you have a place to go, kind of a place that you can relax and chill out at, you know. But anyway, remember guys, if you're coming over here with debt, I highly recommend you don't come over here with debt. That's the best way to come if you can. If you're working and you're planning on retiring at a certain point and having everything paid off, keep on continuing your plan. If you're retired and you have some debt, and you need to have that debt, you need to pay off that debt, it might be worth it for you to think about coming over here if it's just a few $1,000s or something like that. But anyway, guys, remember, just take a look at it, weigh it out, weigh things out, see how things go, guys. God bless. Take care, guys.